Am I boring you? No, I have that effect. So this is the G-Wagon, which we're going to take a spin in. It's been completed about a week or so. We're just doing the usual shakedown test. There's a few things that still need changing. It's got an open filter on it. Obviously we're going to put an enclosed box on like we do on most of them unless customers specify otherwise. We have a nice like enclosed air box with a snorkel type thing that goes on there. Cover to go on top of the engine as well, but I like to keep it off just to make sure that everything seals for the first couple of test drives. And that's about it. This is quite a nice setup. It's got a hybrid turbo on it, which is similar sizing to the original, which is nice. Good for 250 to 300 horsepower, 300 crank obviously. Yeah, and the customers opted for twin stainless boxes, so it's got one box after the other to silence it, which is nice. Nice little tip on there. Hi. Oh, I was just doing my hair. I was kind of doing my hair at the same time as looking at traffic coming. So it really pulls nicely. That 722.6 box obviously was designed with advancements in technology in mind, and of its time. It is very, very good. And with this latest controller, it's excellent. So it tows brilliantly. I'm very pleased actually. This is quite a feisty little turbo that's on this as well, so it puts a lot of load on the gearbox at low RPMs, which would, you know, give it some grief, and it really handles quite nicely. So twin speed sensors on this, so we got the speed sensor on the actual internals of the gearbox, and we've got a speed sensor on the actual output shaft. So you can kind of play between the two for maximum reliability with your transmission setup. So yeah, it's all good. All good. Oh, she pulls strong and very quiet. Very quiet. This customer opted for twin stainless silencers. I like a bit of noise. I like to hear that. But the customer didn't want that, which is fine. We like to give everybody what they want. Doing about 62 mile an hour ish. We got the loaded trailer on the back, so we're not going silly. 2,500 RPM, which is nice because this is the overdrive transmission, automatic transmission. All the temperatures are good, everything's good, and it's a very smooth drive. So far with the test drive, I'm very pleased, very happy indeed. Oh no, I've got that wrong. Are you recording?
Yeah.
So here we are at the destination where the car's final resting place will be, and yeah, it's great fun. I've got somebody beeping at me. Oh, there, yeah. Oh, he's happy there.
He's
right,
happy there.
You record it. I'll just unhook it all. So now he will remove. It goes to the Mercedes funeral zone. Well, we dropped off 1.6 tons of scrap car shop, and we got a reasonable price of £140 for it. So with that £140, I should be able to go on holiday for 6 months now. But the most important news out of this whole situation was the G-Wagon is performing perfectly. On the way back, we got just about 3.2 tons of vehicle weight, so similar to like a long wheelbase G-Wagon kind of weight. We're doing 70 miles an hour ish, which is a bit naughty, but it is what it is. And we're going up. This is like a deceivingly steep incline. Brings trucks right down and really slows them down. It's quite quite a good test for getting the engines warm. And as you can see, just on the actual display there, we're just under 80 degrees, which is where it's staying. I've probably got 15% throttle load down, just doing 72 miles an hour. This is like a 300 horsepower setup, so it's got plenty of reserve power, but just goes to show you that the vehicle can maintain temperature without any kind of issues whatsoever. 606, if you bought a 300D Mercedes or whatever, it was designed to be around about 3,000 RPM at 70 miles an hour. That was the design speed of the engine. Now, as time moved on and they built the 210, the turbo version, it had more power, obviously, than the NA versions, and it had the ability to pull taller gearing. Well, with the G-Wagon build, you don't really need, or I don't really prefer the taller gearing, simply because the engine, as I just described, was designed to turn at high RPMs, and its efficiency range and everything is designed around that. So all that you're really doing by dropping the revs right down is you're kind of bogging it down. You're getting that turbo boosting up when it's unnecessary. It doesn't really need it. And this is very sensible on fuel, and it's nice and quiet in the cabin even at 70 miles an hour. So there's absolutely no reason to go, oh yeah, I want the tallest ratio diffs, you know, I want it to be doing 500 RPM at 100 mile an hour. You know, you're not really doing the engine any favours there. It likes to flow air. That's why you see all these high RPM 606s, because that's what it's designed to do. So yeah, this is an all-round really nice setup, because this original car, G300D, had a 603 in it with no overdrive. So now we have an overdrive. We've knocked it down to the 606's kind of perfect range for this size vehicle. I mean, our maximum, say for example, at 3,000 revs we're doing 70. This engine will nearly do 6,000 RPM, so theoretically the car can do 140 miles an hour. Now, do you really need to do 140 plus in your G-Wagon? I know that some customers are definitely going to be watching this going, yes, I definitely need more than 140. Well, you can talk to me, we can sort that. But your average G-Wagon builds that I do definitely don't need to do more than 140 miles an hour, and this gearing is really quite good. So there you go.